All right, time to put day 3 of our UFC 248 Fight Week coverage in the books. Ariel Helwani, Marc Raimondi, Okamoto here at T-Mobile Arena. Marc, just address the elephant in the room. What is this T-shirt that you're wearing? What's happening here?
Every show, every Friday we got to start with a T-shirt.
Well, I just
there are
mean,
much
like,
more important
it's
things
right
to
there,
talk about.
staring
I
at
got
us.
booed in front of an entire
I know you did get
arena.
booed. Yes, it was
anything we can do to calm
This
you
is,
down. You seemed really high strung when we
Yes.
did this yesterday, so we're just trying to make you as comfortable as possible, Marc.
Oh, this is really helping. Right, thank you. This is an Orange Cassidy T-shirt.
And who is that?
It's Orange Cassidy.
Okay, that's all. Do you know who Orange Cassidy is?
No, I don't.
If you don't know who Razor Ramon is, there's
probably
no
little chance of Orange
hell.
Cassidy. Yeah.
You know, AEW, of course, legends.
Of course.
Are you still working?
Dan Lambert loved my Orange Cassidy shirt when I saw him earlier after the official weigh-ins.
Did you call him Lambert?
Dan Lambert.
Okay.
Dan Lambert.
ATT owner.
American Top Team owner.
That's right. He loved your T-shirts.
2 fighters going for a title tomorrow night.
That's
You guys
right.
are on that
Perhaps
like
you've
last
heard of
name
him.
as a first name basis?
I said Dan Lambert.
It sounded like Ann Lambert.
I heard Lambert.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the big news of the day first and foremost before we get into your question controversy. The weigh-ins happened. Everyone made weight except for Emily Whitmire. She missed weight, but her fight against Poliana Viana is going to continue. She just has to give up 20% of her purse. But, of course, we were all wondering about Yoel Romero, and he made us sweat, right? He was the last one to show up. He showed up with 20 minutes to spare, but he made weight. Izzy, for his part, he actually showed up first. So there was a huge gap between the two of them, but they both made weight, and of course, Joanna Jedrzejczyk and Zhang Weili made weight as well. I feel like Yoel was messing with us the whole time. I feel like he really didn't have a hard time and just wanted to make us sweat. What do you think?
I think he was fine. I think we were sweating more than he was.
Yes.
I think he was fine. His facial expressions seemed fine. He looked great all week, I thought. That incredible promo yesterday with Phil Murphy, our own Phil Murphy. Everything is possible if you believe, Ariel.
That's
so there
right.
you go. He made weight.
Go.
Where is Phil, by the way? After being told to go and live your dream
That's right,
like
yeah.
that, I kind of
gone.
wonder where the guy is. I also believe that Yoel was kind of playing games with us a little bit. I talked to Abe downstairs, his manager, of course, and this is coming from Abe, his manager, so you take it with a grain of salt, but he said he was on weight at 9 a.m., and they were just slowly making their way over. I did see Yoel leave the weigh-in. As I was leaving, we were actually going out to the same area to catch a ride, and the guy did look depleted, but that's to be expected. You know, I don't think that this was a near miss, let's just put it that way. I think that he made it. It was difficult, as it always is, but seeing the circumstances as they were and then hearing some of the accounts afterhand, I don't think it's going to be a problem for him tomorrow.
And so we had two big concerns going into Friday's weigh-ins, right? Yoel Romero, who missed weight twice prior to the last 2 title fights he was part of, and Joanna Jedrzejczyk, who historically, as of late, seems to have had some trouble at 115. She seemed fine as well, right?
She sure did, yeah. She showed up very early, and Marc and I both commented on Wednesday just what absolute amazing shape she looks to be
ridiculous.
We said this earlier in the week. You know, she's had some hit or misses in terms of just like how she wants to do it, how she wants to approach it, the people that she's working with. But she seems to have found, hopefully, I mean, I know it was just her last fight was at Michelle Waterson, that fiasco, but she ended up making weight on that one. And now here it seemed like potentially maybe even her easiest cut. So that was great to see.
You know, Zhang Weili's team has talked about wanting to move up to 125 at some point. It seems like she doesn't have any trouble making 115, at least for now. To me, she seems perfect for 115. What do you think?
It didn't look like she was struggling at all on the scale. I mean, she's not the tallest woman in the division, so I think that her height works to her favor. But she's pretty thickly built. I mean, she's ripped and she's cut. I mean, she has probably like wider shoulders than Joanna does, whereas Joanna is like taller and lankier. But I mean, I think 115 seems fine for her.
All right, so the weigh-ins have come and gone. Everyone's good to go. Again, Emily Whitmire was the only one who missed weight, but that fight is still on. Let's talk about the UFC 249 press conference that happened prior to the ceremonial weigh-ins. It was another press conference for Khabib Nurmagomedov and Tony Ferguson. By now, I've lost count how many we've done of these over the years, but this was probably the most entertaining one to date, right? Tony Ferguson shows up wearing a very nice suit, but also wearing some kind of gloves. I don't know what those gloves were, wraps, something like that.
It looked like batting gloves.
Batting gloves, perhaps. He definitely was holding a baseball, and he said that he brought the baseball in case they ran. Yeah, and Khabib was in fine form as well. But Marc Raimondi was at the center of some controversy because you asked Dana what question, which it seemed like the fans got upset about.
Yeah, I mean, South by Southwest, the music and arts festival that's been running for more than 30 years, 100,000 people every year come to this thing in Austin, Texas, got canceled today because of the coronavirus, because of the outbreak, because of the scare. So I asked Dana White. He happens to run a promotion that puts on big events. I asked him, hey, any concerns about this coronavirus? It's affecting everyone. And the fans booed me. It was legitimate. It was a legitimate question. 100% legitimate question. Right down the middle. Straight as an arrow, Ariel.
If someone doesn't make a Marc Raimondi, it's a legitimate question. T-shirt within the next 7 days, I am disappointed in all of you.
Legitimate question. This is not even a thing.
Right.
It's a legitimate
What was
question.
the answer that he gave you?
Nothing much. I mean, standard stock answer. We care about the well-being and the health and safety of the fans, and I truly believe that. And we'll see what happens, but you got to ask the question. I don't care.
It was
a legitimate question.
Right?
Yeah,
right. See, thank you. Even Brett agrees.
I agree with you as well. You didn't deserve that. I wanted to give you a chance to.
Right.
What? Do we have heat? What's going on here?
No heat. No heat. We're good.
All right, fine. Brett, what was your big takeaway from this press conference? There were a lot of great moments, right?
It was a little weird. It was odd. It was Tony being Tony, and it was Khabib. I mean, I guess Khabib, did Tony get under his skin there at the end? I mean,
Take the belts.
That's the biggest reaction I think I've seen from Khabib outside of him leaping over an octagon and trying to stomp somebody. So I think that Tony, I talked to Khabib a little bit afterwards, and he said that it was the street fighting thing, and I think that touched a nerve with him because of his upbringing and where the part of the world that he's from, that he believes, that we don't, Tony has no even right to bring up street fights because he doesn't know what street fights are. I'm surprised that would have the effect that it seemed to have on Khabib. But at the end of the day, I think that these are just two individuals who, like the rest of us, they want to fight. We want to see them fight. So now it's just like, yeah, we can have a press conference. We've done this before. This is the 5th time that we've done this. This is the 5th time we've squared off. They're on each other's nerves. They're on all of our nerves. Let's see the fight, right? I think that's what we saw today. Is a little bit of quirkiness, a little bit of irritability. Let's just get him in. No coronavirus. Right. No canceling the event. Let's finally see this fight, right?
No, it was great. I thought Tony in particular was really on point. Some of his lines were just hilarious. But what about Khabib kicking his interim belt? Did he cross the line?
I thought, look. It's promotion, right? Yeah.
Or it's the interim title, so you can kick it because it doesn't really
the old
count.
belt. It's not even whatever. But it's fine. No, but I mean, should he have done that? Probably not. But I thought he almost played into Ferguson's hands. I felt like Ferguson was trying to bait him the entire time. Every time Khabib answered a question, Ferguson was talking over him. I think that was by design. I think that Ferguson came in calculated, and he actually had a plan and a strategy. Came in dressed as a hitman, had a baseball, had gloves, and he kind of worked to try to get in Khabib's head. Did it work 100%? I don't know. Khabib seems like a pretty cool customer, but there were some indications that it might have worked a little bit.
Oh, and Tony Ferguson is the type of guy who drops the mic after everything he says. Did you guys notice that? Yes. Everything he said was the mic drop, and then you got to pick it.
I thought you were just about to
pick it back
Tony
up,
Ferguson
unfortunately.
Is the type of guy.
The audio people must
That's how that started.
Well, yeah, no, that's why I did it.
That's why you did it? All right. I wasn't sure because it actually was a fact. Usually those things aren't facts. But great stuff from both guys. I think if you weren't excited for UFC 249, you are now. That's happening April 18th. For now, though, let's get some predictions from these guys before we say goodbye. All right, co-main event. Zhang Weili, Joanna Jedrzejczyk. Will we hear and new or and still, Marc?
Coming into the week, I was really leaning toward Joanna because of all the stuff that Zhang had to go through. I had to leave her home in China, had to go to Thailand, then she had to go to Abu Dhabi, then came to Vegas, and it was just a cluster of a training camp for her. But after seeing her hit mitts at workouts and just seeing her attitude all week, I think I have to go Zhang. I'm picking the champion.
All right. How about you, Brett?
I think it's the type of fight that I'm leaning. It goes the distance, and so and it's going to be a close fight. And when you have a fight that, and I could be wrong, of course, but the way that I'm feeling, when you have a fight that you feel like it's going to go the distance and you feel like it's closely matched, I just feel like it's going to be the little things, man. It's going to be the tiny little things that win this fight. I'm leaning towards Weili Zhang, but I really, truly think this is a pick'em fight. Truly, truly I do. Just with the style matchup, Joanna's experience, 5 rounds, it is. It's going to be one of those fights that I think is just very, 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 very close.
All right, what about the main event?
That fight I do not think is going to be close.
Okay.
I think Israel Adesanya is going to I think he took this fight for a reason. I think everything that he said about wanting Yoel Romero because of what Romero stands for and that he's the boogeyman and everybody runs away from him, I want to run towards that. I think that's all well and good. I think that's true, but I think he also sees a good stylistic matchup for him. Romero, God bless his wrestling, his athleticism, but he has not been able to take elite guys down and hold them down for long periods of time. So that means he's going to be standing there with Israel Adesanya, and I just don't think that as unpredictable and explosive as he is, I just don't think he's going to be able to catch a seasoned guy, a very clever guy, fight IQ, striker like Adesanya. I think this is a runaway fight for Adesanya.
Marc?
We do our experts predictions before every card, and I talked to Saif Saud, the coach at Fortis MMA in Texas, and he had a really great breakdown. He said that Adesanya's team is actually genius for picking this Romero fight. They wanted this fight. It's not because he's the baddest man, because they think it's the best matchup. Kind of like you said, Brett, because this is a guy, he's 42 years old, hasn't won a fight in years. He's lost 3 of his last 4. He goes long gaps in fights without actually doing anything. This is the perfect fight for Adesanya. It's actually brilliant that they're choosing this matchup. And you know what? I do kind of agree. I think that Adesanya will get it done. I think it'll be a decision win for the champ.
What was that look that you gave us yesterday on camera that everyone was talking about? What was going on there?
I don't know. I was deep in thought. I was trying to answer your question.
You seemed like you wanted to be
eloquently,
anywhere, but
1,000-yard stare, I think, is.
Although during this show, maybe that was the case. I maybe have wanted to just be anywhere else. Yoel told me to go, so.
That's right. All right. On that note, we're out of time. The time for talking is over. UFC 248 is coming up in just hours from now. It goes down here in Las Vegas. For Marc, Brett, I'm Ariel. Thanks so much for watching. We got a full slate of coverage coming up on ESPN Plus, on television, on .com Saturday night. Don't go anywhere. We got you locked.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.